Hello, welcome everybody to our Million Mom Movement call this week. My name is Tammy Trissel. I've been with the Million Mom Movement for a few months now. If you don't know already, I am super passionate about helping people to eat better and feel better and just live, a better life with better food choices. I'm joined today with my fellow council members, Allison and Sherry and Naeva. These ladies are absolutely incredible. And we are looking for more moms, more caregivers, more dads to help, spread the news far and wide about what good nutrition can really do for the body. So today we are going to be talking about our Super Amino 23s. It's a plant-based vegan protein. And these aminos are absolutely incredible. We have some really powerful stories to share with you today. But before we get started, I wanted to have somebody read our pledge for us. So I was hoping maybe Pamela, our guest, one of our special guests today, could read the pledge for us. Pamela, would you mind unmuting?
Hello, so happy to be here. I pledge to defend the health of myself and my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free of man-made ingredients. I pledge to read labels and educate myself on all aspects of clean living. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and environment of future generations. I'm committed to sharing this movement of many. I am the Million Mom Movement.
Amazing. Now, what does that mean for you? When you read that? Oh, you're muted, Pam.
It wasn't letting me unmute. What it means to me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I remember when I first discovered this group and I thought, oh my God, I gotta dip out because I'm in the wrong group. My daughter's 31. And I just started listening and I couldn't believe everybody in this company wasn't on this call because I learned so much from you guys. And so reading this pledge just sort of, I don't know, it gets me in the gut every time. Like, we're doing something here. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's what it means to me today.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we're all caregivers. The word mom is just another word for people that care, really. Anybody can be a mom. And, caring about this planet and the quality of the food that we're giving to the people that we love and the people that we care about, and knowing how much it affects our health and our mental health. And I know you have a powerful story about that, Pamela. And my kids just adore you. We got to spend time with you out at the Oasis, and they still talk about you all the time. Yeah, it's a movement of many. Yes, Allison, it's so true. So I'm going to have my fellow council member, Sherry, read a little article for you guys, and then we're going to get into sharing these powerful stories today.
Okay, there you go. I was muted. Thank you, Tammy. I love this call. Love talking about clean protein. It's something I'm very passionate about for many reasons, but mostly because I feel like we live in a protein obsessed society currently. Protein seems to be one of those buzzwords we hear all the time. As a holistic nutrition and health coach, I constantly have clients asking me, how can I increase my protein? And, I want to have more protein. I don't eat enough protein. And I'm I'm always focused on quality of protein over quantity, like for most things. So it's important to find really clean options when we are talking about protein, and that's not always obvious. And there are so many myths about protein, like the one I just said, how everybody thinks they don't get enough of it. When in reality, if you're focused on a quality protein, then you don't need as much as you think you do. So this article today speaks exactly of that. We're talking about myths of protein. So protein makes you lean, You need to eat more protein for muscles to grow. Vegans can't get sufficient protein. Red meat is bad. Men should not eat soy. Humans should not consume dairy. These are some of the protein myths that just won't go away. Allow me to set the record straight. So myth number one is protein's main role is in muscle development. As an essential nutrient composed of building blocks known as amino acids, protein is not only a component of muscle, but also of bone, joint, tendons, ligaments, hair, antibodies, hormones, enzymes, and LDL and HDL cholesterol. The nutrient supports a healthy immune system, can regulate blood glucose, and plays a role in body composition as well. So myth number two, so cutting way back on protein is a good way to lose weight. Consuming insufficient protein can actually make it harder to lose weight since the nutrient helps keep you full and your metabolism boosted. If you do lose weight by cutting the protein, chances are it's muscle, not fat, that you will lose. And that is so important to know the difference, right? We need protein. We need protein to have a healthy body, and a nourished body, and nourishing is so important. And often when people look to lose weight, they think they have to cut that, and that's actually not at all the way you're going to effectively lose weight. What's more, not eating enough protein can lead to other side effects, including fatigue, weakness, leg swelling, edema, and a suppressed immune system, which can result in more frequent illnesses. Losing weight is hard enough without those problems too. Absolutely. So myth number three. Eating too much protein causes kidney disease. Consuming excess protein only harms the kidneys if you have underlying kidney or liver disease. Since healthy kidneys are very good at expelling the extra nitrogen that comes with eating lots of steaks, eggs, and beans, it's also unlikely to weaken bones, though some research suggests it's possible since excess protein intake causes you to pee more calcium out. Diversify your intake with plant and animal protein to optimize bone health, and be sure to include calcium-containing foods and a supplement if necessary to avoid a calcium deficiency. So the only thing that I would disagree here is that, you know, there are forms of protein that are harder on the kidneys, absolutely, and the liver to process. So many of those protein powders out there, the whey proteins, they do put more pressure on the kidneys and the liver. And of course, if you're going to have high amounts of proteins that are not clean, then they will put that pressure on the kidneys. So I think it's all about, you know, again, the quality and how much. Myth number four, it's impossible to eat too much protein. You can, of course, have too much of a good thing. So too much meat on your plate, for example, can mean not enough room for potatoes or rice. Plus, if your protein choices are too high in fat, you may be consuming calories in excess, which can lead to weight gain. High protein foods can also be expensive and drive up your food costs. Myth number five, you can't get enough protein on a plant-based diet. False. We know this to be false. But because most plant foods do not contain the same quantity of protein as animal products and may not contain all the essential amino acids, it's important to develop a well thought out plan that optimizes health and nutrition. So you would not want to eat only lentils or rice, but the combination of lentils and rice is great. Why? If over a 24-hour period, our diet does not contain all the essential amino acids, muscle protein repair and synthesis cannot occur. Myth number six, everyone should take a protein supplement. So most people get enough protein without even trying. The recommended dietary allowance is approximately 0.5 grams per pound of body weight. So for a 150-pound person, this would be 60 grams daily. Eat a chicken breast and container of Greek yogurt and you're there. However, some people may benefit from a supplement if they need more protein due to disease or activity level and find it difficult to get in enough protein through diet alone. A 150-pound athlete looking to gain muscle mass, for example, should aim for 90 to 135 grams per day. Just keep in mind that protein powders can be expensive and some may contain impermissible substances that are a risk for collegiate, professional, and Olympic athletes. Beware that some may not contain what the label says, and some may contain mega amounts of vitamins and minerals or minuscule amounts of phytonutrients and herbs. So we, of course, know this, that so many protein powders out there also contain lots of toxins, contain glyphosate, and glyphosate you will not see on the label. And so that's a reason to, again, always opt for the cleanest option there is. And thankfully, that's what this call is about. And thankfully, we have this clean option that I don't even think of as a supplement. I don't think of our amino acids as our super aminos as a supplement. I think of it as food, because that's what it is. And it's the highest quality food. So when we are using the highest quality food and nourishing our body on a cellular level, then we don't need supplements the way they are talking about supplements here. So myth number 7, as long as you eat enough protein daily, it doesn't matter when or how you consume it. People tend to eat most of their protein at lunch and dinner, but in order to maximize muscle protein synthesis, you should eat about 20 to 30 grams per meal, in addition to a carbohydrate and plenty of fruits and vegetables. For breakfast, consider adding eggs, Greek yogurt, tofu, turkey, sausage, or fish in the morning. Lunch could include beans or lentils, tofu or veggie burgers, chicken, turkey, ham, cheese, or eggs. Dinner could contain lean beef, pork, veal, lamb, chicken, turkey, beans, tempeh, tofu, edamame, fish, or shellfish. Myth number 8, some sources of protein are bad. So don't be so quick to draw lines in the sand. While it's fine to eat red meat, do consider chicken and fish as well, since they provide other vitamins, lower amounts of saturated fat, and in some cases, omega-3 fatty acids. But do realize cost can be a factor, and animal protein is not a source of fiber. Try diversifying your protein sources with soy products like tofu, edamame, tempeh, and soy-based veggie burgers. Don't worry, men, research doesn't support fears of soy's feminizing effects. Peas and beans are also great plant sources of protein, and when combined with bread, pasta, or rice, they contain all the essential amino acids. Dairy foods too are excellent sources of protein, are available in high fat, low fat, and in between options. Okay, I don't really agree with that one, only because we know that dairy is extremely inflammatory on the body. And what I do agree with in this myth is that it is important to diversify, have a good balance. So we're not saying, I mean, I am 100% plant-based and have been for 3 years now, but that doesn't mean that that's the only way to eat, okay? So everybody is going to be very personalized. It's an individual decision, and we're not saying that you need to only have plant-based protein. However, we do know that plant-based protein has the highest benefit for the body. It's easiest for the body to digest. It's easiest for the body to utilize all of the nutrients from a plant-based diet, and therefore make sure that you are adding some of that in. You know, it helps to tip the scales in your favor, no matter what your eating preferences are on a daily basis. Just make sure you have that balance. And that is about it. I will add the link to this article in the chat, so if anyone wants to take a deeper look, and I will pass it back over to you, Tammy.
Thank you so much, Sherry. Yeah, I do believe that we all have to, play around with, experiment for ourselves what our bodies want and need and how we feel when we eat certain things. I know for me, myself, I was sick for a really long time, for 20 years, went to all these different doctors, and I'm missing my whole entire large colon and some of my small intestines, and they also took my gallbladder out. And then the hospital sent me home with Ensure. Like, here, get all your nutrients in this, and it's full of really bad ingredients, and I didn't know anything about reading labels at the time. And I went home, and I was still sick, and I took a holistic healing program before I joined Purium. And in this holistic healing program, I learned about how meat can sit and rot in the colon and how it's hard to digest and assimilate. And I'm just like, wow, like they had me doing a lot of smoothies and a lot of homemade soups and sauteed vegetables and things like that. And then it was like, if you want to have meat, maybe once a week, have 3 ounces of salmon or a bison fillet, something that's absorbed a little bit easier to digest. And I really, once I started, I did that program for about 30 days. And as soon as I started adding in Purium Super Amino 23s, my body could really feel it. I could tell a difference. It was so easy. I mean, it gets absorbed in the bloodstream in just 23 minutes. And the mental acuity that I received from the super aminos, my brain really started to work again. I could feel, the light coming back on. And my skin started tightening up as well. I think Sherry or Allison might have a before and after picture from when I was, in doctor's care and on all the medication and doing all the things that they had me to do. I was really sick, you guys. Doing this lifestyle with, you know, the super amino 23s, even my kids, I've noticed like they used to have bacon for breakfast and turkey sandwiches for lunch. And then every meal revolved around meat. And, you know, they had a lot of, and it wasn't a good quality meat either. It was, you know, whatever was cheapest at the grocery store, that's what I would go for. And then when they started adding in the super aminos in the morning with their morning shake, you know, there went the bacon for breakfast. And then, you know, over time, over the last 3 years, they've just now they're, you know, if they eat too much meat, they're like, wow, I can really feel the inflammation. The more they clean up their bodies, they can feel it in their joints. My daughter is really into bodybuilding. And she's like, Mom, maybe I want meat once a week now. And you know, she was having it 3 times a day and really poor quality. So, you know, I haven't forced them to give up meat or anything. I let them kind of figure it out for themselves, listen to their own bodies, and just keep offering them more plant-based options. And, you know, they eat tofu now, and they're eating all kinds of things that I could never imagine that they would have ever eaten. And the mental acuity as well. My son with ADHD, you know, he is focusing a lot better now in school. And I mean, I could never even read a book before, you guys. And now I'm just like, wow. And my skin has tightened up incredibly. So I just absolutely love the super amino 23s. I take, you know, 10 to 20 a day, depending on the day, what I'm doing in the day. I just listen to my body. If I feel like I need more, if I'm, you know, working out more, if I'm more active than other days, every day is just a little different. So I'm really excited to have our first guest, Miss Pamela, come on and share her story because, you know, they were talking on the call the other night. Dr. Luca was sharing about, you know, gastric bypass surgery and how, you know, after having that surgery, it really changes the way you have to eat. And this lady inspires me so much. I just adore her and love her to pieces. So I'm so excited for you guys to hear Pamela's story.
Hello, thank you, Tammy, for asking me to share. Yes, in 2018, I had gastric bypass surgery, and I was never told like what they actually do or the after effects that could happen. But I weighed 305 pounds and very mentally ill, and I was desperate. So I got the surgery, and yes, I lost massive amounts of weight, but I also had many complications. And so um what the surgery that I had, they would make a little pouch out of the top part of your stomach, and then give you a new little stomach tube and put it farther down into the small intestine, so it's bypassing where you absorb most of your nutrients. And the rest of your stomach is still there creating bile and stuff. And so nothing's really taken out, but things are just kind of rerouted. But that new little stomach tube got narrowed and I couldn't ingest anything. And I suffered for a long time before they finally figured out what was wrong and stretched it out. And then I could eat again, but then I started having motility issues, and bowel muscles actually became paralyzed, and I couldn't, I mean, if nothing's coming out, nothing's going in. And they couldn't figure out what was wrong. They put me on medications, and I was just so nauseous. And even the anti-nauseant medication that they gave me made me nauseous. And they just kept saying, we don't know what to do. And I just kept getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And my daughter started to really worry. She said, Mom, you're going to have to ask for a feeding tube because I'm not sure you're going to make it. And that's when I knew I had to do something. So I actually hired a holistic nutritionist who told me to order this thing, and I had no idea it was. And when it came, like the green shake, I could only have a shot of it. So the super aminos came in and still come in really very handy because I still have motility issues, and I'm still throwing up a fair amount because my motility is so slow. But I can always consume the aminos. So if I can't consume any more of anything, I can, at least I can still consume my aminos. And this shot here, the one on the left, is me shortly after surgery. And I tried to climb this mountain and I could only get to here and a little bit further up, and I couldn't go any farther. I was done. And then the one on the right is after period, and I'm wearing a backpack on my front because I have a cat strapped to my back. But I made it this far and then all the way up the mountain. And the cooler thing is that I forgot my snacks in the truck. What I had with me was a bottle of super aminos and half a bag of power shake. And so I hiked for 7 hours all the way up a mountain with aminos and my power shake, and I felt amazing. I had everything I needed. I'd packed protein bars and that kind of stuff, but these super aminos are even so much better than that. I don't even eat protein bars anymore because I've got everything I need with with my green shake and my super aminos. So yeah, and my skin, my arms used to hang way down because I didn't do any of the skin removal surgery, and my skin is just, my friends just can't believe it. It's just, my arms just keep getting tighter. So I'm days when I'm unable to eat, I can still consume my aminos, and I don't worry about not getting enough nutrition anymore.
Oh my gosh, I love your story so much. It's so incredible. You're so powerful. You're so strong. You're so brave. You inspire me so much, Pamela. I mean, it's what you've been through. It's like so many people would just give up, and to find a better way. And when you feel this nutrition in your body and you just keep going, that's just, you're just such an inspiration, and we just love you so much. I know for me, the aminos, I call them oh, this is me. I was 240 pounds, you guys. I was on 20 medications, and, doctors, they just don't tell you. They're like, let's just cut it out. Let's just, let's take your gallbladder. You don't need that. It doesn't, help with the digestive system and breaking things down with the liver. And this is me now, and my skin tightened up because people say to me all the time, oh, you were 240 pounds. Like, why, you don't have any loose skin or anything? And I'm like, no, it's these aminos. They really do. They improve your skin's elasticity like no other. It's pretty incredible. I always carry a bottle in my car. I call them my road aminos. So I never leave home without them. I've got one in my purse, a bottle in my purse, a bottle in my gym bag, a bottle in my car. Like, I will not go without my aminos because, for me, it was a lot of food addiction. Like, I was a single mom working 2 jobs. So I frequented fast food a lot. So driving past fast food places, it was like, oh my gosh, like just the smell of Burger King would trigger something, and I'd want to pull in, and I'm like, nope, nope. I got my aminos. So I would pop my aminos, or if I was out at the grocery store, and you're looking at all these things that you want to eat at the grocery store, and I'm like, nope, I'm just going to pop my aminos. So those have been like my pocket candy. I used to be addicted to Mentos, like just constantly eating something. So those are my new little go-tos. I don't leave home without them. I absolutely love my aminos. And my daughter, she, like I said earlier, she's into bodybuilding, and she is addicted to her aminos. And our next guest, he's a vegan bodybuilder as well, and his transformation is absolutely mind-blowing. This guy really inspires me, and I'm so excited for you guys to hear his story and how aminos have helped him to really fine tune his physique. So Dennis, Mac, would you like to come on and share your story with aminos?
Yeah.
Thank
Hello,
you.
everybody. Can you hear me? So I wouldn't call myself a bodybuilder as much as I might look like one. I don't really call myself a bodybuilder anymore. I used to be a bodybuilder, but not anymore. So I went vegan about 5 years ago, and I was doing a lot of water fasting, these types of modalities, trying to heal myself. And oh, just one second. Sorry, guys. I'm here. I'm here, guys. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. So yeah, it's like I was been vegan, and now I've been on Purium for 29 months. And it's been incredible. I really love Purium, and the super aminos have been incredible for me. You know, we've been doing fruit fasting now. Tammy and I have been doing these every 2 weeks. We've been doing these fruit fasts, and we're doing 5 days on, and then 2 weeks later we're doing another 5 days. And I'm doing the super aminos during that time. I'm doing 5 with each meal. Yeah, I really like the super aminos, the MAP protein, that master amino acid protein, that high efficiency protein has been instrumental. So, you know, I lost a lot of weight. And when I regained all my weight and all my muscle mass, it was because of Purium. So that picture that you see in the middle there, that was like 5 years ago, just before I went vegan. And when I took that picture because I knew that something big was going to happen in my life. So I took that picture of that day. I went vegan the next day, and my life started to change big time. And so I was on anxiety and depression medication for 35 years. And I always knew in my heart that, you know, that there was a better way than these medications. And I went on a mission to try to figure out, you know, how I could heal myself, and how I could heal myself holistically. And my vegan journey was the catalyst of that. And then I started just eating cleaner and more healthy. And then Purium came into my life. But you know, all of the muscle mass that I've put on my body in the last 2.5 years has been because of the super aminos. You know, they have that net nitrogen utilization of almost 100%. So like whey protein has like 30% net nitrogen utilization. So it's very taxing on your kidneys and your liver. Okay. Whereas the MAP protein is super efficiency. So I'm not into a high protein diet anymore. I'm into a high efficiency diet, or protein, high efficiency protein now. Yeah, it's been cool. I've really enjoyed the journey, and you know, I don't now. I'm not like trying to put on any size, but doing the superfoods, that I can't help but put on a little bit of size.
Incredible. Yeah, our fruit feasting group, I just love, we've got a high vibe tribe going on. And
Yeah.
I noticed, the super aminos and doing the fruit and how I've toned up, and I went longer on the elliptical than I've ever gone. I'm going 5 miles now, and I have so much energy, and the aminos really, give me so much strength and endurance, and it's really incredible to watch. I know, how many days a week are you working out? Everybody wants to know.
Yeah, so I work out almost every day.
Yeah.
I might take 2 or 3 days off a month. But so I'm either doing yoga, I'm running, I'm cycling, or I'm doing some sort of resistance training in the gym. Resistance training, maybe 3 or 4 times a week, but always something. I'm always doing something. The yoga's been great for me. I concentrate more doing leg exercises in the gym, like resistance training with legs in the winter because I'm cycling in the summer. I don't like push any heavy weight anymore. I did when I was natural bodybuilding, pushed heavy weight, but now and my rep ranges are, 20 to 30 is my rep range. And, I do legs once a week, and then I'll do one body part or when I'm working out, when I'm doing resistance training, I'm doing one body part. So I'll say I'm doing chest, and then in between, I'll be skipping, I'll incorporate some sort of cardio. So I'll be skipping or I'll do some calves or I'll do some abs in between. And that's kind of my routine. That's what I do now.
Yeah, movement is medicine. I love it. Well, you look incredible. They want to know how old you are, Dennis. You got some love going on in the chat here.
I am 52 years young. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what? I attribute it. Everybody thinks I'm 40,
Yeah.
early 40s. I get late 30s sometimes. And I really attribute it to the superfoods, man. And just continue to consume the superfoods. My skin is incredible. I'm getting little wrinkles out, but I'm holding them at bay a little bit. The superfoods are holding them at bay a little bit.
Yeah, we're aging backwards. That's what I tell everybody.
Yes.
I'm just aging backwards here. We're like Benjamin Buttons. I mean, I really feel, I just turned 42 and I feel like better than I did my whole life, honestly. But I'd say, in my 20s, like that's the energy that I have, but actually more energy than because I've never eaten this well in my entire life. So, it feels good to feel good. And the superfoods, it's incredible when you really start to feel it and you start shining and glowing, and you have that endless energy. Everybody's always like, oh, these little kids running around, I wish I had their energy if I could just bottle it up and sell it. And I tell everybody, I'm like, that's Purium, man. You want a toddler's energy, just take Purium and you're going to be running circles around toddlers, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. So I eat, like, in a day, I am Purium and fruit until dinner. So when we're not fruit fasting, like those 5 days when I'm not fruit fasting, I'm Purium and fruit until dinner. And then I have a wholesome vegan dinner. It's raw most of the time, 75% of the time it's raw. And then I'll have a couple cooked meals a week. And that's my regimen, man. That's what I do. Purium and fruit. I get this beautiful digestive rest, right? The Purium products are supporting digestive rest as well. The fruit is supporting digestive rest, cleansing, detoxifying, all of this, right? And then I have that one, heartier meal for dinner. And then fruit fasting every 2 weeks has been awesome. And we've been having a lot of fun. This is the last day I'm going tonight, and I was going to break my fast tomorrow, but I'm doing it tonight now. I changed my mind and I'm going to do it tonight.
Yeah.
So we're going for dinner.
I have a big salad calling my name tonight, so I'm right there with you. But yeah, it's taken me a while to get to this point too. My daily routine is about the same as yours, but You know, in the beginning, I couldn't do raw. My digestive system couldn't handle it. So it was, you know, a lot more cooked vegetables, and I had to work my way up to that point. You know, there's different
Right.
levels, you know, starting with the cooked vegetables and things like that, the smoothies, and you know, now 3 years later, it's like, okay, I can handle this now. So it's like kind of chipping away and getting to that point where you can be almost all raw. It takes a while to get there, but it's totally possible, and it does feel good. It's so much energy. So thank you so much for joining us. We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. I think Allison wanted to share. So,
Yes. Oh, Tammy, you just muted me.
oh, sorry. Allison wanted to share some of her success with the, so many people have so much success with these aminos. I just love it. So your story is so incredible as well. You want to share with everyone and your before and after pictures, your amazing skin, you glowing goddess.
Thank you. Well, yeah, I think everyone has a very excited amino story because everyone who this has come into, and it's just like, it's just smart. Like it is so efficient and we learn so much about how they work. I don't know how to explain the whole science of them, but hearing Dr. Moretti on last Wednesday's call, which if you haven't listened to it, there's a replay up and we'll make sure to put that in our call to action as well. But there's amazing resources to why this works. I just know through experience how it feels. So like when I started, I gained 60 pounds with both my pregnancies. And so I was, you know, fairly small frame. So to gain 60 pounds was like a really big stretch. And my stomach, after my second daughter was born, it was just like loose skin. So even when I was losing weight, I just accepted, everyone was like, that's just, you know, a lot of people were telling me I should get a tummy tuck, which is like plastic surgery to tighten the skin. I don't have a picture here, but I'm going to be making a post about it because I wasn't able to organize it before the call to get my before and after. But I have an amazing picture. I shared it a few years ago and I'm going to reshare it. So I'll be putting it out there. But you can see like, wow, after just a few months of these superfoods, and I really attribute it to specifically the aminos after learning of what they actually, because I didn't even know skin tightening was a thing that they did when I started. But what I first noticed was like, yeah, all that loose skin and even like my face, you know, like I was just, people were like, wow, are you using, like, what are you, like people even thought I did like plastic surgery or something because like my skin was so tight. And when I first met Taz, that was the first thing I noticed on her was like, what, like, how is your skin so good? It's crazy. But when I started doing it, I started seeing the same effects and all the skin on my stomach. I mean, I can show you guys, I have no more loose skin. So it's like, it's crazy. It just doesn't, it's like, you wouldn't know that I gained 60 pounds with both those pregnancies, and it happens over time. And with a lot of people, you know, hearing Dennis share and how you know, where you're at, people are like, whoa, that's like really another level. Like I could never do that. I just really want to say like this lifestyle has the guide built in, like the guides are built into this green juice to the aminos. It's really smart and efficient food that when you start introducing it and adding it into what you're doing, you are going to, it will guide you. If you honestly do it, right? Because some people, you know, they'll say, oh, I tried it. It's like, no. If you honestly add this into your life on a consistent, every day you add this in, you are going to see huge differences. And for me, what I noticed in my physical, in muscle building was I was always like self-proclaimed, just like really weak. Like I was just like, I just always thought of myself as really weak. And I was never able to even do like a push-up, you know? And then when I started taking these aminos, it was so crazy that I wanted to do push-ups. Like I actually wanted to do them. And then I would go up to 30 push-ups. Like when I went from doing like none to building up to doing, you know, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, very, very fast. And doing all kinds of crazy things that I never thought I could do because I never had that confidence. But wow, as I started to do it, it gives you that. It gives you the confidence. It gives you this energy boost. and strength. It's very deep. So I just, you know, I can't say enough good things about them. Jared also had an incredible fitness upgrade with them, because they just encourage your body. Like, people say, oh, I can't be that disciplined. I can't do what Dennis is doing. I can't be that disciplined. But it's like, no, actually, you just add this in, your discipline will actually start to develop, because when you feel this good and you're nourishing your body, what happens is your body actually starts to talk to you. You start to listen because you're in connection with it and it wants to move. And so it's really a trust the process kind of a thing, where wherever you're at, you know, whether you're like totally like on your, you know, I've worked with people who have been bedridden for like months, you couldn't even get their head off their pillow, to, you know, seeing them now living these really robust, active lifestyles. And it's just a testament to the fuel that we're fueling our body. So these are the best protein you can put in your body. It is the most efficient food, and it's for everyone, whether you're an athlete or you just are, or a mom, or you know, whatever, at any stage of your life. And for bone density, I really want to say a lot of middle-aged women, you know, 50 plus, are taking calcium for their bone density. I really want to emphasize that that's actually doing the opposite. Calcium supplements could be doing more damage, and these actually help build strong bones as well. So it helps it's the building blocks of everything, the building blocks of the tissue, the you know, the bones and everything. So, and the mental acuity. Just one more thing is just, wow. Like, I was on medication my whole life. So like Dennis, he was saying he was on antidepressants, and, you know, Tammy, I know too, and all of that. It's like, my brain, I thought it was broken. Like, I thought I would never be able to have a strong memory again and be able to articulate and create, you know, like, it changed the way my brain works. It rewired it. And it absolutely improves your mood. So when I take it within 23 minutes, actually, when I really feel it. I feel it right away, kicking in, and my mood feels better. My energy improves. So there's just too many benefits to list here, but yeah, that's my story.
Oh, I love your story. You know, when you talk about working out, when I was overweight, everybody was just like, oh, just go work out, just go on a walk, just go do this or that. And I was just like, I don't have the energy. I don't even have the energy to do my dishes. I had somebody else going to the grocery store for me. Like, I was so far gone. It would drive me crazy when people would say, oh, just go work out, you know? And it's taken me a while to get to the point, because, you know, having 6 months after I had my last bowel resection in March of 2020, my surgery didn't hold up, and I had to go back in and have another surgery and have a hernia mesh repair. So they cut me open again. So then I had another 6 months of healing to do. So I literally couldn't do any physical activity. You know, after you have, you know, with C-sections, you know, when you have your stomach cut open like that, like, you can't do any physical activity. So having these superfoods in this nutrition, I was able to nourish myself and to start getting energy, and I wasn't gaining weight. You know, I was gaining healthy weight. I was maintaining the muscle that I had, but I wasn't, you know, just laying there, just eating whatever and blowing back up again. So I was able to maintain a very healthy weight. And now I'm like, oh, I want to work out every day. I want to go ride bikes. I want to go bounce for an hour at Sky Zone. Tomorrow I get to take all my nieces and nephews to Urban Air. Like, I want to do all these things now. I just have energy all the time. You know, I'm working out consistently now. So you do get to that point where you're like, okay, now I can do these things. And it's just incredible. Yeah, the anxiety, the depression, you know, people don't talk about. Doctors never once said, you know, you need to clean up your gut. 90% of your serotonin is produced in your stomach, and the things you're eating is depleting your gut microbiome. And you have 10 pathways from your brain to your stomach, and 9 of them go from your stomach to your brain, and 1 goes from your brain to your stomach. Nobody talks about those things, you know? So when you really clean up your gut and your brain starts lighting up. Like, I never thought I'd be here talking in front of all you beautiful people. Like, I never had the confidence. The confidence will come, the courage comes, all of these things start magically happening. So, you know, consistency is key. you know, you're not going to get results right away, especially if you've been toxic for a long time. And, you know, it's a process. Like everybody says, they say for every year that you're on the standard American diet, you have to clean up your system for a whole month for every year. So it takes a lot of time, and it's not, you know, a quick fix. It's slow and steady wins the race. And the consistency is key. I think maybe, did Sherry want to share about her amino experience?
Of course I will share. Thank you. And I mean, I resonate with everyone's stories. So I too gained a whole lot of weight, especially with my first pregnancy. So I gained 70 pounds with my son Jordan. And I was also very petite to begin with. So that was a huge amount of weight for me. And so I had to lose skin, and I had another baby after that. I didn't gain as much weight with my younger son, Nathan, but still the damage had been done. And so I've noticed huge improvements in that area. Again, I wasn't willing to use any type of cream. I definitely wasn't open to tummy tuck. And so I just kind of figured, well, this is just, how it is. And I had babies, and that's what happens. And to see my confidence come back in terms of, wearing a bikini or whatever, because the skin is tight now, has been a beautiful surprise with the super aminos. I love the mental acuity aspect to it. I definitely noticed a difference. Any given time of any given day, I've got about 1 billion tabs open in my brain, like I'm sure most people do. And I really, really do notice the difference. I'm sharper, I'm more alert. And that's also why, in addition to, of course, the muscle building aspect to it, that's why my older son Jordan takes them as well. Both my kids are athletes, hockey players, but I started giving them to my older son Jordan, who's 13. And again, not just for the muscle building, although of course that's important, but also because of the mental acuity aspect to the sport, right? You have to be able to make quick decisions on the ice, and so much of that is mental. It's not just about the body. And I find it's really unfortunate, especially in youth sports, that we tend to focus on building the body, and how they go about doing that is also very frustrating to me, because it's always about bulking up. They're telling kids younger and younger these days, like, you need to bulk up, eat more pasta. My son's been told many times, like, it's like, no, it's, there's so much more to it, and they need to do so much more. And again, it's not just about building up the body, but also building, ensuring that the mind is sharp and quick and ready, right? Because before the muscles make any type of action, it's the brain that sends that message to the muscle to react, to do the move. And so it's really important, right? It's a mind-body connection. And also for myself in the gym, I've shared this a couple of times, that I started working out over the end of the summer with my kids. So they do off-ice training, and I decided, well, if I'm going to be bringing them to the gym twice a week, every week, I'm going to get into the gym as well. And the trainer was very excited and to train all three of us together. And he's continuously amazed at what I can do. The amount of energy I bring to every session. And actually the other day, I don't know if this is a big deal for all you people who have been muscle built, like, working on the gym for a long time, but it's kind of new to me, and I thought it was pretty cool. I was able to bench press 55 pounds the other day, and my trainer said that most women that he trains can do 25 maximum, and he was blown away. Like he said, every time he thought it was my last bench press, I was able to do one more. I had just one more in me. And so he used to ask me how that's possible. Like, why do you have so much energy? You're so busy. But he's now a brand partner as well, because he was just blown away by the products. And he loves super amino. So he doesn't ask me anymore how that's possible. He knows, because he's experienced it for himself, and he's sharing it with so many of his clients because it's so effective. So, I mean, on so many levels, the aminos, I mean, we need aminos. They're the building blocks for so many things, right? Building blocks even for our collagen production. So, instead of buying expensive creams, or instead of, using all of these, ridiculous collagen powders that are out there, we've got to start, it's an inside job, right? We've got to do it from the inside out, and we need to provide our body with the building blocks. And so super aminos is just, it's a superstar of all the superfoods, I think, because it just does so many things. Back to you, Tammy.
Yeah, so true. You know, when you eat a piece of meat, your body has to go through a whole nother process to break it down and convert it and turn it into amino acids. And these get absorbed in the bloodstream in just 23 minutes, and you really do feel it. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. So I'm so happy to share this with everybody that I love, and I've noticed big shifts in all of my friends and family. um you know, I can't even tell you enough about my daughter. I mean, her doctors were saying she was going to need cortisone shots in her knees, and when she started, you know, decreasing the amount of meat and increasing her aminos, she was just like, wow, I don't have that joint pain. And you know, and then we learn about the uric acid and all the things that overeating meat, you know, creates in the body. So I'm so excited about these aminos. I absolutely love them. And then we have Allison has a few call to actions, I believe, for everybody to share with your friends.
Hi, yeah, so I just put it in the chat here. We have an amazing video that is about 3 or 4 minutes, and it really highlights all of the benefits that we were just talking about. It's a great one to share. So we're going to encourage everyone after this call to share this, maybe challenge yourself, share it with 10 people that you know would really benefit from these aminos. And just say, hey, I just listened to this call. It was so informative, and I thought of you because, you know, for the reasons that you think they may be interested in these aminos. So save that video. You can find that as well in on Vimeo in the Purium. Just Google that. And we also had an amazing call on Wednesday with Dave Sandoval, the owner and founder of Purium, and Dr. Moretti, who is the Italian doctor who invented these aminos. And he is obviously the biggest wealth of knowledge on these. He's created them. So that call was so informative. So if you want to go and watch that video, I can maybe get that up there too. So, you know, this is the movement, is we are encouraging everyone not only to educate yourselves, but to go and share the information that you hear, that, you know, this, whether you've already felt the benefits yourself, or, you know, you want to, and you want to encourage other people to explore it with you, share this information, share your stories. We want to always encourage you to share your personal experiences with it. That's the video from this week. It was amazing. Am I forgetting anything? Oh, well, go follow and like our Facebook group and our YouTube. This is an amazing resource to find all of our recorded videos. We have them up on our YouTube, Million Mom Movement on YouTube, as well as the Facebook group has all of them. And then if you want to make posts, and please follow us on Instagram as well, please tag the Million Mom Movement, and Naiva or whoever's in, up to date, keeping up with the socials there, will repost you. And it's just an amazing community to just, connect in with. So we're always having amazing new information, and we would love to keep expanding this movement. So it's up to us. It's up to us. We are the movement. So please go and share and like and subscribe and all of the good stuff. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I want to give a great big thank you to our special guests for coming on today. Thank you for taking time out of your day, Pamela and Dennis. You guys are so inspiring, and we love you so much. And we are so grateful that you could join us today and share your incredible stories. We really appreciate you so much. We love you all, and thank you for joining us today.